I'm not dealing with addiction or what I call behavioral pattern that derives from an emotional dysfunctionality. You understand what I'm saying? Emotional dysfunctionality is what causes dysfunctional behavior. Behavior is just the extremity. So this class is, we studied the liver, we studied the importance of it, and this class is, what is addiction? And when we get through with this, you're going to realize that we live in an addict culture. It's not just you. You might have been doing the crack and the cocaine and it's visible, your dysfunctionality. And then there's others, like Yeshua said, whitewashed tombs full of dead man bones, trauma. But they use sociably acceptable drugs. They drink sociably acceptable. But, so that's what we call a person that is a functional addict. And then you have the dysfunctional addict. Those are the ones we look down on.
Who's sitting here?
Ain't nobody but me and him. So go ahead and take that. And we got people coming in. Okay. All right. So my interest is letting you identify, because the main thing that get the people who have an addiction is guilt. They feel like I got something nobody else got. And then the person who's condemning you has the same addictive pattern. It's just not as extreme as yours, but it's there. Okay. I told the lady, when I said, why don't you let your daughter come in? Oh, no, she good. Is she really? Then why are you here? Okay. She's a young, because I go for the young folks. Because I know that we have been introduced, like we went over, all the chemicals that we've been ingesting since birth. Okay. So I want to hit and teach older people so that they can teach younger people and break this pattern of addiction. This pattern. And when I say addiction, I don't think about the crackhead. Don't think about the alcoholic who's out on the street begging. Think about that coffee drinker who's in front of the coffee shop at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Think of that ism, a person who is addicted to a ism, whether it's chauvinism, feminism, and their whole pursuit in life is to fulfill that ideal.
Ask you something really quick. What you said about the coffee, I remember at the height of the pandemic, we were stuck in traffic on the bus because there was a line of cars at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I mean, wrapped around the block.
Yeah. Around the block. Okay. So when we turn to page 1, let's look at it. Steps to addiction. And you're going to find out addiction goes way beyond substance. It goes into socialism. It goes into religion. Okay, what we want to do is have a pattern of progression towards the ultimate goal of our what? Existence. Okay. We want to fulfill our ultimate goal, which in most cases we have forgotten. Remember when you was 5? Y'all look at me on this one. And then the teacher said, what you going to be when you grow up? What did you say?
I don't remember.
You.
Okay? See, we forgotten. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody say, I'm going to be an alcoholic. Ain't nobody say, I'm going to be a drug addict. We had a higher vision as a child than what we do now. We was conformed to this pattern. And people don't want to break the pattern. Once you in a pattern, okay, that's an addiction. Remember that word, a behavioral pattern that comes from what? An emotional quality. Okay, let me take this off. All right? A behavioral pattern that come from an emotional quality. All right? That means I'm here, I'm comfortable, I don't want to advance. I don't want my kids out of this box that I got them in. So I don't want them to learn anything except what I know. And so they continue in the box eternally, generation to generation. So the first thing that we have to understand is steps to addiction we initiate or consume. A behavior or a substance, experience relief from that behavior and substance, feel a pleasure sensation from that behavior and substance, okay? And what happened? 2, we reconsume to maintain the illusion of relief and peace. Okay? Oh, this felt good. Oh, yeah. Let me go and do it again. That felt good. Okay. All right. And people don't want to come out of this illusion. They're like, all you want to do in life is feel good. That's where the positive, negative thinkers. Well, I think positive. You walk in and you say, hey, man, how you doing? You say, I'm feeling bad. Oh, you're so negative. No, that's how he actually feels. He's not feeling good today. What is negative about that? Negative would be when you deny the reality of what you actually feel. Now what are you doing? Repressing reality. Everybody getting this? Okay. So it says reconsume. It says third, what develops from this behavior is a craving from an emotional quality. Okay. If you feel pain, you say, okay. You're angry, you go get some salt. Oh, okay. That kind of satisfies. If you have a love deficit, you go get some sugar because that's a reward. What do? Now, I know all y'all going to be honest enough to say when your child did something good and you say, oh, baby, what did you give him? Candy. Addicting him.
Yeah.
Okay. And now he associates candy to what? Love and acceptance. Okay. So, in order to cure that love deficit, what he's going to do, what she's going to do, get that chocolate cake, that white flowered chocolate cake, and addict themselves even more. And it's so normal is that they say, like the lady told me, I said, let your daughter come in, learn something new. She's good. No, she's not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. But I understand where you're coming from. Okay? Because my main concern with teaching it is to bring forth at least 25% of that new generation who have not been contaminated with addictive drugs in the food. Okay. And then for the older people is that, okay, we're going to control and bring this addictive behavior into a balance where you can fulfill, maybe not 100%, but at least 90%. Okay? Because it's hard when you go to AA, they say, oh, you have to stop. I said, man, you come to my classes, you're going to be doing, well, all we're going to do is fill you up with nutrients. We're going to talk to you. We're going to work with you until you no longer have a desire for it. Or to control your addiction to the degree where you can function as a productive individual. That punitive stuff, well, if you drink, we're kicking you out. No, if you drink, we're taking you to the kitchen and we're going to fill you up with vitamins and nutrients and we're going to love you until you break it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all forgive me. Like I said, I only got 2 hours sleep last night. Okay. 5, biological dependency is verbalized. I can't live without it, or I can do what I want to do. Okay. Breaking the moral fabric. See, you go out and you never stole in your life. Have a few drinks, and next thing you know, your mind said, oh, it's okay. Go ahead and steal that. Okay. Ain't nobody looking. And you go over that moral fiber. You go over that moral boundary. That's when you know, okay, I need to check myself. And with the engagement of hip hop and MF and bitch and, all these years, I'm walking down the street. Hey, bitch, how you doing? Huh? What's up, dog? Huh? Instead of, hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. How are you today?
OG or something.
Yeah. Now, what's normal is what? What's up, bitch? What's up, my nigga? Huh? That's normal now? Okay. That shows an addictive pattern to negative entertainment to the degree that it has taken you across what we call the norm of moral self-control. Yeah. And they ain't never had a drink. They ain't never had no drug. But the redundancy, you understand? The redundancy. What's up, my dog? I'm going to the store. I got my bag and I got my hoe. And that's normal. A total violation of a normal moral self-control pattern. Okay. Man called me up the other day. He said, well, look, I can get you some lectures, man, but I said, I don't wear shirt and ties. I don't assimilate into nobody. This is my culture. Okay. This is how we dress. Why do I have to change in order to be accepted? I won't do that. Now, because if I put on a shirt and tie, the same thing I'm teaching in this dashiki or danshiki, I'm going to teach in a shirt and tie. You want the teachings or you want me in an image where you can make some money? Because I'm good. Okay? And that's called addiction to stereotype. If you look this way, you're accepted. If you look that way, you're not. Okay? And so we have people that are boxed. Now, people, places, and things. Image association. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Image association. All right? So we understand that we consume the substance. We begin to actively participate in what? Actively participate in a behavior that brings what we call release or self-satisfaction. And then we can't break away from that behavior or substance because what? It gives us the illusion that we're being loved. And I know some of y'all relate to this. The main thing in these years of study is that most people are looking for what?
Acceptance.
Acceptance and love. And because they're a little eccentric, people don't accept it. Well, you're okay, and then they start giving you orders and say, well, you have to act like this, you have to dress like this, you have to, and you like, well, this is who I am. Okay? And you try to change, and next thing you know, you're depressed because you're not being who you are. You're not living from the heart. Now you're living from aesthetics that bring you what? Acceptance, but no happiness or growth because you're not living from the heart, your true desire. So the number one in people think the addict causes the addiction causes the addict to hang around people that supports the addictive behavior and avoid those that do not. Huh? When you out there drinking that Wild Ass Roll, who you looking for? Somebody that got the same bottle as you. When you addicted to sports, who you gonna hang with? Somebody that's in front of the, what they call that? Sports channel? Okay.
Yeah, TV.
Someone to validate the obsession. Okay. And so you say, well, man, this is a good class. And you go out and tell people, and they say, man, I'm cool right where I am. I don't want to grow. I don't want my children to go. They pass it down. It's really bad in the black community, that mentality. Okay. And excuse the word, I use the word black. I don't believe in black or white, because black and white are adjectives. We are nouns. I'm a black person. That means nothing. That's just in the description of your color. But a noun is a human being. I want to know you as a human being, not as a color. And we're stuck on it. Black power, white power. Dude, that's just the way you look. Who are you? A color is an adjective. A noun is a person. So you as a person is calling yourself an adjective. You're insane. Huh?
No kidding.
You're insane. Because you're trying to make an adjective into a noun. And so when I use that word, I want y'all to understand, when I use black and white, I'm just using it because that's what people are familiar with. Okay. Okay? So, the addict who goes to events that says it's okay, food addicts attend food events, alcoholic addicts go to bars and parties where the substance is reinforced as okay, synthetic caffeine addicts go to coffee shops to socialize, sexual addicts go to pornographic stores and movies, race addicts go to antagonistic race events to reinforce their racist psychosis or reactionary racist psychosis. Anybody have a question on that one? Okay. All right. Racist psychosis. Or reactionary psychosis. Reactionary psychosis, a racist psychosis, is when one group says, I'm better than you. A reactionary psychosis is when you spend your whole life trying to prove that they're not. You understand what I'm saying? And you become obsessive with proving I'm not, or obsessive, and you have a pattern, you create a pattern. You put on swastikas, you put on black power tattoos, okay? And you obsessed and spend your whole life trying to prove I'm superior or trying to prove, okay, I'm inferior. I'm not inferior. Because you are unable to accept yourself because you're in an addictive pattern. So you're in a box. Just like that alcoholic on the street is in a box. Hey, bro, hey, man, give me $1 so I can get some food. Now you know what you really want. Okay. Don't deceive me. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? You're in a pattern of behavior to obtain relief, pleasure, or the false need or the illusion that I'm being loved. So you become intimate with that bottle. You become intimate with that pipe. You become intimate with sports. You become intimate with false religion. You become intimate with these things that you're addicted to. Why? You want to feel loved. Okay. So the alcoholic, we say, oh, look at that bum. But that person addicted to false religion, whitewashed tombs, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, you look the part, but you still steal, you still lie, you still gossip full of dead men bones. So you don't get criticized. Okay. But you just as much as an addict as that man sitting in the alley asking for a quarter. Okay? Types of addicts. Social addicts, obsessed to fulfill a socialism. What's this? What's that movement with the female? Me Too movement. They're sick. Oh, women abuse. Okay, what about children's abuse, huh? What about male being abused? Why can't we just deal with it as abuse of human beings? Why it got to be female abuse? Why you got to exclusify yourself as the only person on earth that's being abused? But you don't think about the children that's been abused. You don't think about the males that being abused. But you want everybody to think about you being abused. Because you're an addict to a socialism. Huh? See, we have to break the pattern of behavior and begin working down here and say, okay, what is my emotional foundation? Where did this come from? That's what we want to find. The root of the behavior. Once we identify that this is just as addictive behavior as the person sitting on the corner smoking dope and drinking wine. So that we can what? Move our spirit forward. Because we are an assimilative being and we must progress. When you put yourself in a box of ism, or a box of alcoholism, or a box of drug addiction, or a box of religion, you never progress. Spend all your life angry, mad. You can't tell me nothing. You say, well, all I'm trying to do is, you said this is my response. That's wrong. But you haven't even investigated my response. Investigation comes before judgment. That's a dysfunctional reaction. Okay? Investigation comes before judgment. So if I share something with you, since I was out here and her daughter, I said, why don't you come to the class? Because you know me, I love children. I want children. She don't need it. So you dictating her needs. I said, okay, I see where you're coming from. We ain't got to talk no more. No. And people say I'm rude. No, I'm not rude. That was ignorant. To tell your child, you don't need new information. She gonna grow up saying, I'm good. I don't need no other new information. Okay? That's bad in the black community. Bad. We good. What's up, my nigga? And yeah, I got Caucasians here. And I ain't afraid to say it. Okay? Because I am free. I don't have no pattern. Hey, this is wrong, this is right. And you go in the black community and say, hey, bro, you know, hey, ujamo habari yako, indugu wangu. What's good? I said, I speak several languages. I'm just saying, you know, try it. Me, I ain't down with that. You know what I mean? You don't want to experience something new. And when we do the meditation, what we going to do, I'm going to take out something you ain't never did before in meditation. I'm not going to give you what you already know. But to break whatever pattern in your life, right? So that you can develop a higher rational, intelligent pattern. And then take that and take it to the next level. That's how you break addiction. Okay? So you have denial, what is it? Religious addict. A religious addict believes in a concept of God that he learned when he was between 1 and 7 and never progressed beyond that. That's a religious addict. That box. Oh no, this is the truth. Dude, you were 7 when you learned that. And that's when you go into churches, that's what they preaching. 7-year-old theology. Because it makes you feel good. Oh, yeah. It's entertainment. Okay? I'm an ordained minister. Okay? So when I teach, en aquel no logos que logos proscante, only in aquel no logos, yeah, I'm teaching from the original language. Bereshit bara Elohim, ba'atcha shamakim, ba'atcha harith. Okay, now let's understand what these words mean. When you think about Jesus, he's all right. When you think about Jesus, that's your religion? And then when somebody said, hey, let's move on into a more intellectual, rational reception of the word, I don't need all that. What they used to tell me, because I'm a bookworm. And he said, it don't take all that. What you mean it don't take all that? What did it take for you to become a doctor? That's okay. You can study all night, be up, just because you want to make that $100,000 a year as a doctor. What did it take for you to be a track star? Huh? You started off running, what? Okay, 5 seconds and 9.9. He said, you got to get to 10.9. What do? You work out more. But when it comes to having an understanding of God or Elohim, it's all right. It don't take all that. No progress. Non-productive behavior is a pattern of addiction. You can look down all you want in front of me, of the alcoholic, of the crackhead, but you are an addict. Because you have not progressed beyond a level wherein you can experience freedom and happiness. Just pleasure. Oh, this feels good. Okay. We're on page 3. Substance addict, obsessed with experiencing love and affection, acceptance, use substance for emotional need of love. 4. Race addict, obsessed with proving their superiority or proving their self-worth. Reactionary racist. Proving that, hey, oh, brother, I'm good. I ain't got to prove nothing to you. I'm good. I don't need to say, well, black people, we were this and that, and I don't need that. I said, this is what I am now, and I'm good. Now, if you don't like what I am, deal with it. But if you put your hands on me in a violent way, I'm going to put my hands back on you in a violent way. If you want to make peace, we can walk in peace. Because you're an addict. Lynching and death and riots and all this over what? I'm white and you're black, so we're not supposed to like each other. Huh? You're not black, you're human. You feel what I feel. I feel what you feel. So we're addicted, that race addiction. You're not white. That's an adjective. You are a noun. I want to know you. I want to know you. I want to know you as a noun, not an adjective. And that liberates me. Okay? Reaction to addiction, denial of its existence, negation and minimization of reality, people, and new or evolved ideals. C, frustration, anger, or violence. D, need to be babysat or consoled, results of love deficit or overly. See, this is the worst one. That 4, you come here, everybody take care of you. You take no responsibility. That's why some of these seats ain't filled. Hey, something new. Lady told me, I was kind of hurt. I said, man, I'm looking at this child. I wanted her to get some new information so she can, she's good. No, she's not good. If she was good, she wouldn't be here. And I looked and I had to cut it off because I know me. You dumb, ignorant parent. I said, okay, I see where you coming from. I'm done. But I'm looking at her and saying, you're going to carry on the legacy of this ignorance because they want to keep you in the box. I'm good. And I get upset when it comes to young people. Man, give them. Okay? Let them progress. Don't keep them in your dysfunctional box of addiction. You understand what I'm saying? So most addictions, whether social or substance, begins in the womb where the emotional foundation of life is developed, and that is the first 7 years. Okay? Once they hit 7, their emotional foundation on which they build their life is established. This starts with the womb, the first trimester. Okay? And I'm not going to write it all down because y'all got the paper and we're going to look at all the trimesters. And so we can look at our grandkids and our kids. They experience a trauma in their first trimester, a trauma in their second trimester. See, that's what we need to be working with. With my son, he's real cool. You know, I used to sing, I said, what was that song I used to sing? Upenda, nakupenda, mwana yangu. I sing. That's why it means I love you, my son. Okay. And so now, if you put loud music around here, he'd be like, no, cut it down. He's cool. He's mellow. He smiled. Wake up with a smile. Because I sung to him songs of happiness and peace. You in pregnancy and the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, arguing, fighting, drinking, loud music. That child is traumatized in his development. Okay? All right? Yeah. And most of the adults that I deal with now in my age group, they 12-year-olds to me. Why? Because when I seen, oh man, I'm dysfunctional. I know I'm messed up. I knew I was messed up. The obsessive compulsive behavior. I said, man, I'm messed up. I gotta find a way. And it took me years to break that cycle of behavior, addictive behavior, so I can be free. Women, wine, sex. Oh, my boy, I love sex. If it wasn't no women, I'd be out on the field with a stick talking about moo, moo. You understand what I'm saying? That's how obsessed I was. And as I learned prayer, as I learned principles, as I learned to get off these chemicals, I said, okay, cool. I began seeing women not as sexual objects, but as human beings that I didn't have to manipulate. You understand? It's a growth process. Because anytime between the age of 18 and 30, when I seen a woman, all I seen was booty and pussy. Excuse the expression. I didn't care about how she can read, how she can write. I wanted to boom. That's the only thing. And then as I grew, I said, wow. And met mature, developing women. And I said, man, I'm so disrespectful. Okay, I got to change this pattern. How did you change that pattern? New behavior. Huh? So I said, my father said, every time you see a woman, compliment her. I was on the porch with my dad, right? And fine chicks, right? Excuse my expression. I know I can, but we grassroots, so I'm speaking grassroots language. I said, hey, baby, how you? My father said, if you ever do that again, I'll knock you off this porch. If you want to know them women, you walk up to them, you introduce yourself to them, and speak to them respectfully. Don't you ever talk to a woman from across the street yelling like a fool. My dad was bigger than me. I said, okay, Pop, I'm sorry. He said, yeah, you should be sorry. You ain't no animal. Don't talk to women like you're an animal. Go, compliment. Baby, you look nice today. Would you like to have some coffee? Or, you know what I mean? So I had to change that behavior. And as I changed and solidified myself in that behavior, I ain't got no problems. Okay. Because I'm not seeing woman from an addictive stereotype that I perceive of them as sex objects. See what I'm saying? I broke that pattern. Because that's how I seen them. I'm talking about women, not feminists. I ain't got nothing for a feminist. Nothing. And people tell me, what come? I say, I'm not speaking there. Family. It's the only thing I deal with. Y'all want to talk about abuse? I don't want that victim mentality. I am teaching healthy family. Not healthy women, not healthy men, not healthy children, but a healthy family. Y'all ready for that? If you ain't, don't call me. I'm not moved. Well, we gonna pay you $2,000. Man, you can take that $2,000 and stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm not a capitalist. Huh? I'm not loving you as a woman. I'm loving you because of love. Well, you don't love women. No, I don't. I don't love men. I love because it is the right thing to do. Not because you're a man, not because you're a woman, not because you're a child, because love is God, and whoever loveth is born of who? God. That's the only principle I go by. So you can't get me into social isms, which is social addiction. Gotta break them. How many of you have beliefs that you still function in since you was 13 and never took it and evolved it into anything? Think about that. And in that box, that's where our addiction lies. Okay? Okay? So, developed in a womb within the child throughout his life, and in most cases, is never identified or resolved. Feeding the child addicted junk food then temporarily relieves the child, wherein he or she develops an addictive pattern that disrupts his or her natural pattern. By the time the child is 7, the addictive pattern is well in place. Okay? See, we are the drug pushers to our children. Okay? And that's why you got people, they just walking around with a smile. I'm so positive. Man, you ain't about nothing. You ain't nothing but another social addict, another substance addict. Well, I gotta have my coffee. I do what I want to do. You an addict. Nobody does what it wants to do. Do a bee does what it wants to do? No, it functions within its nature. Does a horse do what it want to do? Horse say, I think I'm going to become president. Can it do it? No, he functions within his nature. So you as a human can't say, I do what I want to do. No, function within your nature. You're an assembly being. That means input creates greater output. Negative input creates negative output. And we allow people to teach us all this social foolishness. All right? Hey, guy told me one time I was listening to some Mozart, because I love classical music. He said, yeah, well, I listen to James Brown. I said, well, I don't. Why do you think I need to listen to James Brown? You done stereotyped me. You done put me in a perimeter. This is the only music I can listen to. Okay? I took up one guy. He was a Caucasian bro. Oh man, I'm going to help you with your voice. You know, and I mean, I'm not good no more. I'm older now. But I was like, oh man, this is fascinating. Okay. I grew. And I thank Yahweh Elohim, or the Lord God, as y'all say, for that love of growth. And getting out of that addictive behavior. I'm black, so all I can listen to is Beyonce and James Brown and this, because what? I identify music with a false concept of race. So when I see Michael Jackson as a noun and his music sounds good, I'm not saying that's black music. If I hear from Barry Manilow, which I will not, I'm not saying that's white music. No, that is music that he expressing from a free nature. There's no color on music. You see how we are addicts? Oh, that's black music. I don't mess with that. Huh? Oh, that's white music. I don't mess with that. Denying yourself an experience that will what? Validate your growth and development. And we got our kids into this cycle. I mean, that really bothered me. I said, well, can she come into the class? She's good. And she was good. Why is she here? No, she's good. Okay, cool. Because I understood. Believe me, I understood, and I can say it, but I'm not going to say it. Why she did that. Okay? I understand. Because as my son, when I came here, I said, Tracy. And she said, no, he's slightly on the lower scale of autism. Tracy said, bring him to my class. All right? I said, okay. See, I believed and I reacted. He might need some new stimuli. Okay? that he's been doing good in her class. He said, I'm good at this, Baraka. I said, okay, I'm going to trust you. Then, I don't have no restriction. I want my son to reach his highest potential. Okay. So if I see something that possibly may be good for him, I want you to experience this. You understand what I'm saying? So as they enter into adulthood, the addictive pattern and the underlying trauma demand relief, so the young adult begins to make choices. Some turn to alcohol, drugs, others turn to work, what we call workaholics. Many turn to social, what we call isms, sexual fantasy, antisocial, deriving from repressed anger, frustration, and or violence. The repressed trauma is the root. The pattern is the tree. The branch is the mental pattern. So everything you act out, right? You ever seen the leaves blow? That's you acting out a root. Are you functioning as an apple tree, or are you calling yourself an apple tree and functioning as an orange tree? You're a human being. You're not white. You're not black. You are a what? Human being. Are you functioning as a black? Are you functioning as a white on the basis of established stereotypes that you receive of those names that you associate with? Or are you functioning as a human being? Because white and black is not human beings. It's a color, adjective. So simple of a concept. White power, black power. Okay, wait a minute. That paper is white. Put your hand on that paper.
Not white.
It's not white. So where did we get these stereotypes? You understand what I'm saying? You're European. I have African descent. Okay, let's share our cultural dynamics to what? Empower us. You know what I'm saying? So that we can together reach our highest potential as human beings in relationship with our Creator. Anything that does not allow you to reach your highest potential does what? Create a pattern that is addictive. Okay? All right. And that's why you say, hey, look, we want you to come. We want you to learn. Nobody's interested in learning something new. You're an addict. I'm good right here. Right within this pattern that does not produce prosperity, health, intellectual development, moral, rational development. I'm good right here. Okay. But I hate to see that when it is enforced upon the children. I wanted to slap her. No, she's good. She's good. Why is she here? Why you don't have her home eating your food? But she's good. Because you're going to pass down this pattern of behavior to her, and she's going to grow up. When she have kids, she's going to say, they're good. So we pass down this dysfunctional culture. Okay. And a lot of black people get mad at me. Oh man, you shouldn't say. I'm gonna say what I need to say in order to get people into a realm of liberation. Okay. Now, if you can't handle it, come on, let's do this. I got 2 black belts. I can handle it. Because I know y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of cowards. I don't fear. I fight. And I'm going to keep fighting until we penetrate the barrier of the enemy. Ain't that what the army do? You've been in the army. We're going to keep going until we penetrate into Germany. See? So we must penetrate beyond the borders of the behavior and stereotypical behavior that keep us in unhealth, that keep us intellectually deficit, that teach us all this garbage. I said, well, Christian, we believe in the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, 3 persons of God. Why do you call them one then? No, I got a question there. You're saying God is one, but you believe in 3 persons. That's not making sense. And most people just don't even care. Wow, y'all, okay. Stop saying he's one. And so this is what, I'm not going to go into this. I'm not going to go into the trimesters and stuff. We don't have time, okay? I want to be out of here in the next 3-4 minutes. But shit, somebody said, well, how can you define Father, Son, Holy Spirit? I said 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. Right? Can you change that? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. 1 plus, and then, you know what? I was meditating one time and it said 1 times 1 times 1 equals what? 1. Okay? So now I said, okay, I'm getting that. And I had to progress to a higher, of this idea. Okay? And then I got it. I had to go through a process, a mental, intellectual, rational, and spiritual process to understand that Father, Son, Holy Spirit is not 3, but Father, Son, Holy Spirit is 1. Just like you are body, soul, and spirit, united or multiplied into one order or existence. So that corrected my perception spiritually. Okay? We have to correct things, man. Instead of just accept things like blind, dumb animals. Anything beyond growth is an addiction. Anything that's that a pattern of behavior in which you cannot change, but you keeping down the same course. He said, I did this before, man, I'm dying. It's killing me. But I got to do it again. Whether it's socially, substance, drugs, alcohol, I did this before. It's killing me. Now, for us who have been consistent with this class, look here. It's time to break the cycle. And say, okay. You know what I mean? Let me do something I ain't never done before. And this is going to play a part when we do the spiritual class, because I'm going to challenge you. You're going to say, oh, you're going to be like most people. Oh, that's witchcraft. Why? Because it's not English? Don't you know that there's thousands of languages other than English? So I say, okay, redundant. Yeah, and sure. I'm gonna tell you what they mean, but can you do it without saying, "Oh, that's the devil"? Dude come up and I sell Gothic art at my shop. He said, "Oh, he seen the skeleton." He said, "That's the devil, you know, the Reaper." I said, "How's that the devil?" "That skeleton, that represents death." I said, "But you got a skeleton in your body." Okay. You have a skeleton in your body. So you call this skeleton the devil. So you the devil. Because you got a skeleton too. Stereotypical thinking. Losing all rights now. When you call this skeleton the devil and you walking around, you are a skeleton wrapped with skin and muscles. And when that skin and muscle die, you're going to become, and you're going to look just like that. So are you the devil? Stereotypical thinking, addiction to it. And he said, "I never thought of that." I know you ain't. So we're going to end right here. And I hope I was clear about the behavioral pattern that you can't break. That's an addiction. Why? Because you won't let nothing new in. I'm good. All right. No, you ain't good. You're an addict. You might not be as filthy as that alcoholic or that drug addict. You might dress in a $300 suit, but you have a behavior pattern that does not allow you to grow into happiness, that does not allow you to grow into peace. Because you're scared of anything new, and the box that you are in, I'm good. No, you ain't good. You're a 12-year-old in a 55-year-old body. Just like when I asked a young lady, "Come on in and learn something new." Her mother, "No, she's good." No, she ain't good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be at this facility eating somebody else's food instead of at home cooking your own food for your daughter. So now you want to create this pattern in her that this is as far as you can go in life, depending on other people to feed you. Okay? All right, we're going to get out of here. I'm so grateful that you guys came back. I always say I hope more come, not for my own personal, thing, but because I really want to see people say, I want y'all to be my disciples. Take this message. Man, I'm going to tell them. When you see people limiting their children into a pattern which will not, hey, look, we learned this. Okay? He just as bad as that crackhead on the street. He just as bad as that alcoholic on the corner begging for quarters. He's a functional addict. He's a functional, or she's a functional addict. Okay? That's all. A functional addict, and you're producing as much life as that crackhead. Nothing. Hold on. Oh, she's good. How's she good? Head down, plate. Go ahead.
Okay, what would be the response? Like, I was appalled, like, well, if you got a heart or any sense of lick, the George Floyd deal and
well, I mean, George Floyd was...
All right, let me finish here.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought you were finishing. Go ahead.
I got dissed and called out on Like I got a problem with Black Lives Matter because all lives matter.
I
To
got,
me-
I got no problem with that. I understand both
Well,
sides.
I get called out on it.
Yeah, that's because they're addicts. See, I didn't.
What should my response be then? I normally just ignore it.
None reactive. Say, okay, I'm moving with this. All lives matter. If y'all want to move with that, that's cool. Why argue with two opposites?
I don't argue. I
Yeah,
just keep them
you know
out.
what I mean. And see, I got no problem because
Yeah, I get upset when I see it.
yeah, you get upset. Don't let it take you upset. That's what they're at. At 10-year-old, this is where you at 50-year-old. You see it bigger. Now, as a African American, right? People get mad at me because I don't support Black Lives Matter because I raised a manifesto. Okay? I don't support it. Okay? Now, I can tell you why, but I'm not. But I don't support Black Lives Matter. If somebody killed my son, he's dead. Period. I don't care if you police or president. You kill my son unjustly. Now, if he robbing a bank and doing something against freedom, I ain't got no problem. But if he walking down the street eating Twiddles and somebody just shoot him dead, you dead. Why? That's justice. You have no right to take my son's life. But now you have given me right, according to the Bible, Goel, to avenge the son, my son. I'm not dependent on your justice system.
Yeah, but if you do it, you go to jail.
Yeah, that's cool with me. I take a hanging to redeem the life of my son. Okay? See, that's how extreme I am in change and what's right. I'm not going to be out on the street marching. So and I'm not going to get up and randomly shoot a lot of police who happen to be good police. Who is that person? Who is that police that murdered my son? I'm coming for you. I'm not going to shoot other police. You murdered my son. You did, not these other police. So I don't agree with that. Reactionary violence. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with saying Black Lives Matter. Because realistically, what makes more sense? All lives matter. Let's learn to respect all life. Let's learn to respect each other. I can't argue with her. When all lives matter, people come and tell me, I said, I can't argue with that. Why? Because when I did the study, police had killed 756 white males or white people, as they call it, and it was like 465 black. We were in second place. Okay. We were in second place with police deaths. Second place. And y'all talking like we were in first place. That's delusional. And people ain't gonna like it when they hear this. They ain't gonna like it, but that's the facts. And then the Latino community was in third place. But there was more white people who were killed by police than black people. Their lives don't matter. See, I'm dealing with rationality and logic. Okay? So when I see you, first thing I see is a human being. Y'all want to put white and black on the title? No. All I see is a life forsaken. Because of what? Oh boy, you better be glad I'm Messianic Hebrew, because the word that came up would not have been religious. You understand what I'm saying? I fight for life, not for color. Y'all can't deal with it? Fine, I'm good. So we're going to end right here. Thank y'all for coming. I hope you guys come again. Bring some people, especially some young people. I would love to see some young people in there. Okay. So that they are not victimized by stereotypical, racial, and social behavior that will not allow them to grow to their full potential.
Is there anything we can do to help? What specifically could we do to help bring people to the class?
You know, just say, hey, we learned some new information, the materials that I give you, share it with them.
Okay.
And if they show that interest, you know, hey, we're going at this time, boom, 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 boom. Bring the kids. He don't mind kids. I don't like it because they don't say, hey, look, we don't have kids here. No, I'm a family man. If you're getting treatment for something, that child should be involved with your treatment. Okay? So we're going to get these and we're going to get out of here. And I appreciate you who have shown, bring others. We got about 7 more weeks of this. Bring them, man. We're going to break through this foolishness.
Okay.
All right? Peace and blessings.